You know, there's these problems that you have when you do all the good choices that you can make. You try and get all those out of the way. And then you got to make that one choice that you know is going to get everyone against you. And that's how I ended up shooting bunnies in my backyard. Now, I can feel your judgment. I can't see you, but I feel it all over me. There were 20 bunnies in my backyard in the last week and a half. And that's a lot of bunnies when they're eating your grass. And my grass is half dead now. A lot of my plants are dead. My crops, which means basil, those are dead too. And I have this air rifle, and I decided the only way, after I tried the coyote urine and all this other stuff, nothing worked. So time to shoot them bunnies. And so I did. And I got up early one morning, headed out to work, and I saw a bunny out there, and I lowered the window down. You see, I got to shoot from my kitchen because my next door neighbor doesn't like the fact that I killed bunnies. I understand. So I just shoot him right from the kitchen window. And I see this bunny, and I shoot it. Boom! It takes one hop, falls over dead. My job is done. Now, I'm running late from my job, and so I decide to deal with the carcass after I get home from work. So I head out. I work in the finance industry in a very quiet office. So anytime the phone rings, everyone knows. And my cell phone rings, and it's my lovely wife. And she says, "Did you shoot a bunny?" And I said, "Yeah, babe, I did." This is 2 hours later. And she says, "That bunny is still alive." Yep. And so I said, "It's alive?" And I see the secretary look at me. And sure enough, she thought the bunny was alive. And so I'm a hunter. And there's one rule in hunting. If you kill an animal, you need to end its suffering quickly. You don't want it to hurt. And so I told her, "You're going to have to go shoot that bunny in the head." Now, my wife is not an outdoorsy person. She's an outsidey person. She likes a good cup of coffee and a book and a blanket. But she has never touched a gun in her life. And to make matters worse, we have 2 children ages 9 and 11 running around the house, and my mother-in-law is there teaching piano lessons. And I tell my wife to go get the gun. Now, it's just an air rifle. Don't mind me. It's not like some big old honking bazooka. All she has to do is load this thing and shoot the bunny. And she says, "There is no way. I cannot do it. I cannot do it. I can't. No. I cannot do it." And I said, "Baby, you're going to have to pick one. You either let that bunny suffer, or you shoot that bunny right in its head." I know, judge all you want. It's not your grass. And she says, "I can't." I said, you have to do it." And she said, "Okay, I can do it." So she goes and gets the gun, and I walk her through the whole thing. And mind you, my secretary is glaring at me as I show my wife how to use a gun over a cell phone. So she locks this thing into place. She loads it up. She's ready to go. I said, "Babe, are you ready?" There is no way I can do this. It's absolutely impossible." You got to. So she has a loaded weapon in my house. And I said, "All right, it's time to go." And she says, "Well, I got to put on my shoes first." "You have a loaded weapon in your hand, babe. And we got children running around. This is not the time to put on your shoes. You got to go out right now." She says, "Okay." She starts walking outside. And I said, "Okay, just put me in your pocket, and I'll be with you the whole time." And so she stuffs me into her pocket, and I can hear the rustling around. And I say, "Go out there and shoot that thing." Again, my secretary. I hear her rustle. And then I hear her say, "There is no way. I cannot do this. I cannot do this. I cannot do this." And I hear my son in the background, "Mom, what are you doing?" "I'm doing nothing, son. Go back in." So he goes back in. She pulls the phone out, and she says, "Babe, I don't have to shoot the bunny. It's dead. I promise it's dead. There's flies all over it. It is dead." "Aw, it's been dead for 2 hours. She said, "I don't have to kill it." I was like, "That's great, babe. But you have a loaded weapon in your hands now. And you have to shoot that. You can't go back inside with our kids in there and your mother. And she says, there's no way I can do it. There's absolutely no way. I cannot shoot this gun. You have to. I'm not going to give you a choice on this one. You've got to fire that weapon. Just find a patch of grass. Don't shoot your foot. Just shoot right at the ground. Just pull the trigger. But it's going to turn around. It's going to pop up and hit me in the face. It's an air rifle. You're fine. So I said, put me in your pocket. She puts me in her pocket. And I hear the ka-chunk. She shoots the ground. She pulls it out of her pocket. And in the most sincere voice ever, she says, it's done. And that was the day my wife killed her first blade of grass. Thank you.